I'm Darcy. I'm the owner of Explore Digital, and we're all about demystifying digital marketing. Today, I have Barbie, our resident SEO manager, on today, and we're super excited to get into SEO. And to start, I want to talk a little bit about how SEO stands for search engine optimization. So helping people typically get to the top of Google. That's what everybody kind of remembers about SEO. So she's here to share some stories of the past, the present, and the future, all about SEO and where it's at today. So video SEO, what's the difference primarily between, I'd say, Google search and YouTube SEO? If we had to kind of compare use cases, I would say I need to think on this as well.
I think it's how-tos.
Yeah, a lot of how-tos for YouTube and for TikTok. Yeah.
So obviously if you have a plumbing company.
Sure, let's go with it.
Yeah. How to best unclog a toilet. What would the search results look like?
Yeah.
I think the search results on Google would really maybe have a lot of video, informational, YouTube at the top.
Videos. Yeah, absolutely.
And so if you're a plumber,
yeah,
you absolutely should have a video. Potentially, there's probably a zillion how to unplug up the toilet videos. So you could do a video and it probably wouldn't show up because the amount of competition.
Yeah.
But maybe if there's something that you feel like you haven't seen, that's where it's good to where we've kind of gone outside and say, well, what companies are showing up in YouTube under this particular subject that we're interested in maybe potentially doing a video for. And then how could we get in on maybe a niche subject or question that hasn't been covered in YouTube? I feel like that's where the effort needs to be done, as far as making sure that would be the first thing you think about, is go out and do your competitive research.
So competitive research really comes into play, especially, it comes into play in our organic strategy on search, but also when it comes to YouTube, we need to be better. And a lot of times, YouTube is more, I would say, a little bit more of a national push. I'd like to see more of a local push, but a lot of people aren't saying how to, clog a drain or unclog a drain in San Diego. Nobody's necessarily doing that. But Google does use your local location these days to understand, hey, maybe this plumber is actually relevant to you. And also, I think, coming up at the top, you're able to garner some authority. That, at the end of the day, video is the next best way for people to meet you, meet your company. Actually, that's, even why we're doing this podcast. We don't have an office anymore. We're, online these days. I definitely think that, a way, especially I typically when it comes to doing a video strategy, I like to figure out, okay, well, what's the local angle? But a lot of times when we're doing national SEO, I'll bring more video into it, because it doesn't matter if I'm getting a client from Boston, or if I'm getting a client from, Austin, Texas. But for plumber, because it's local, we need to be a little bit more tactful in choosing what's appropriate versus not appropriate necessarily. So I think that if we were helping a plumbing company that had a product potentially that maybe it specializes in a snake, maybe they sell a type of snake to unclog a toilet, I could see a whole video series talking about certain toilet models, how to unclog toilet model, a Toto toilet, going long tail like that, you can start showing up for immediately. When you go long tail and you go in depth, I think that's where the nuggets really come in, definitely.
And I think people also realize that, YouTube is a search engine.
It is.
And
absolutely.
So making sure, again, the title of the video has, what is in the video, is that, and then also a description with a call to action at the very top of that description of that video. And then if you really want to get more in depth, is making sure that you just have what's in the video. What are we talking about here? And then also who are we? We're, from San Diego, but we'll clean your toilets. Or
here's my thought about layering in a local strategy for YouTube. I would do a paid ad strategy. So I saw this when I got my puppy a couple years ago. I was watching so many how-to videos of how to train. And then I started getting dog trainer ads for a local company in San Diego that said, do you want to help, do you want help for dog training? So I think that that's really more of the local approach, because a lot of people on YouTube aren't searching how to do this San Diego.
Right.
By the way, everybody, I'm pretty sure it's obvious that we're in San Diego. We keep bringing it up. I think layering in some very it's honestly very inexpensive, some advertising saying, hey, San Diego, do you want help with training your dog? I think that is probably the strategy to go with. Same with plumbing. I could even say this, how to unclog or how to do. Now, it could be disputed that persona might not match up. So the audience that's saying how to do this may not be willing to pay for those services. However, there are videos that showcase, hey, the how-to is actually a lot tougher, that you might be biting off a little more than you can chew. Here's a local company that, so I would layer in some video advertising on YouTube for that. I think that is a winning strategy locally. And then nationally, those how-tos are killer. And then there's so many other ways to do it, but those are, I think, great examples.
Same too. I feel like it's also important to have video even on your local website. Take that YouTube video, say if you're a landscaper, and you show before after. I don't know why. Just recently I watched a guy completely transform this lady's front by just like taking this hose and taking off all the years and years and layers of oil. And I watched through the whole thing.
Oh my God, it's so satisfying. It's so satisfying.
Stuff like that can be so impactful to see, even as a local person coming and doing the research and seeing a video of the before and after is just so awesome.
There's so many good videos on power washing. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I do feel like video is really important. It also engages. It also, Google knows how long a person stays on a website, right? It's been said that, if someone comes to a website and bounces up, Google's going to put that website down a little bit and test another website where someone might engage a little bit longer on the website, which says, oh, well, they found the information they needed here. Well, video is really good at engaging someone for a little bit longer. So it kind of triggers to Google, hey, this person is getting the information. We're going to make this person higher than this person because of
Absolutely. Another kind of video SEO tactic, I mentioned TikTok briefly. I've been really thinking about this one for a while, and I'm excited we finally have a client who's totally open to it. But they're a local venue in our area, and I've been wanting to go after things to do, venues or concerts to go to San Diego. That is a search term on TikTok. A lot of times, and I've even done this myself when I went to New Orleans, like as a vacation. I love New Orleans. I was looking up all the coolest restaurants to go to, all the coolest places to go to. So there's really, especially for hospitality, places to visit, TikTok's huge for that, because a lot of that content is original creators, but businesses can also take crack at showing their venue and saying, hey, here's a cool thing to do in Carlsbad or, different parts of San Diego, and they can rank on TikTok. Same with YouTube as well. So there's a lot of different applications for SEO, and we kind of have to, it's a little bit different for Google, it's a little bit different for YouTube, and it's a little bit different for TikTok because users use it so differently. I mention those. I don't mention Meta a lot, like Instagram, because they've relied primarily on hashtags. Facebook's not really a search engine. They tried a few years ago. They actually got a little creepy with the amount of information they were relaying about people. That was their search engine, was about people. And Instagram is just kind of clogged with hashtags, and it's not a great search platform, but I've seen TikTok specifically emerge. I've seen YouTube specifically emerge. Like, those are the big search avenues, but they all search a little differently. So making sure you're filling out your descriptions, your titles, your captions, making sure that the engine knows what your video is and why it's relevant. And then you also have to rely on that user engagement, that third-party user engagement, which is, are they sharing? Are they commenting? Are they liking? It has to meet certain engagement metrics, which are also different than SEO with, our third-party engagement. There's link building. So just different avenues.
And people have to remember that Google still shows that in search.
Yeah.
Google still shows TikTok video,
Yeah, they
potential in
now
search.
show TikTok in
Yeah, they
search.
still show,
Yeah.
some of that aside from YouTube. And so and since Google is still number one, you can't leave those, type of optimization.
The ecosystem has changed, the cheese has moved, but at the end of the day, people still need to find businesses and still need to search. Search is not dead. The last thing I'll say probably about YouTube specific SEO is it's not all text. You also have to make sure that your video thumbnail is compelling and that it gives you a good expectation of what to expect in the video, because those video thumbnails are actually one of the biggest, if not the biggest, reason that people click. Not just the title, but what's the messaging that's communicated through the video thumbnail that increases your click-through rate. And that is a huge deal when it comes to showing up. So yeah, we're taking it from, SEO being more of a written type of practice to it requires visuals and it requires video for YouTube SEO.
And I also think that there's also the transcription button or the closed caption, if you have those on, Google knows actually what's in the video.
There's a lot of little factors, but there's overall themes and trends when it comes to these types of decisions we have to make. But if you can do video, absolutely do it. You'll get ahead. It's not going away. In fact, it's getting deeper and deeper. Well, that's all I have today. Thank you so much for watching our podcast and going through SEO and kind of demystifying what it is, how to handle it, things you should consider. And I'm super excited that we were able to have Barbie on today.
Feel free to reach out and ask me questions, and don't forget to subscribe.